My name is Heidi Boulanger, and I'm here today to introduce you to Roger Rule, author of The Rifleman's Rifle and other books, and host of this series, Special Guns with Roger Rule.
Thank you, Heidi, and welcome everyone to my 39th episode of Special Guns with Roger Rule.
What do we have here today?
Today's episode is a rare double feature for collectors. An exceptional shotgun from master gunmaker Luciano Bosis and the timeless work of the legendary Italian engraver Angelo Galeazzi. If you love fine Italian craftsmanship, buckle up. This one's going to be special. While we already celebrated Bosis in episode 26 with the best gun, and had the traditional Anson and Dealey box lock action, today's shotgun features a very rare Bosis-made trigger plate action. But more importantly, this gun showcases examples of Galeazzi's masterful bulino engraving, some of the finest ever applied to a firearm.
His name is Angelo Galeazzi.
Yes, Angelo Galeazzi. He's born in Castellanato, Italy in 1931, and he passed away in 2012. A founder of the bulino style, he worked exclusively with a hand engraver's tool called a burin. With it, he pulled off something extraordinary, making metal look like the finest watercolor. His mastery, perspective, and light brought game scenes to life in a way that rarely has been matched. In the book The Italian Gun by Steve Smith and Lori Morrow, Galeazzi is called the most influential of all Italian firearm engravers. I want to read one of their comments, and I'm quoting, "Few engravers had mastered the basic concepts of fine art better than Galeazzi. He was one of the founders of the bulino style." End quotes, just a passage from that book. Galeazzi began his professional engraving career with Perazzi. Then he worked with Abbiatico and Salvinelli, but over the 50-year career of his career, his art graced guns from Evo Fabri, Beretta Custom, Franchi, and of course Luciano Bosis, like the one we have here today. His scenes are often framed in English-style scrolls, and his preferred subject was waterfowl. What made his work extraordinarily wasn't just technique. It was the way he captured light and wind and even emotion. With nothing but a burin, he created movement, reeds blowing in the wind, ducks landing in the water, and clouds drifting. His understanding of perspective, establishing horizons, defining foregrounds and backgrounds, and blending light with shadow showed a meticulous dedication that made each engraving not just decorative, but truly artistic. Imagine standing over a single steel canvas for hundreds of hours, coaxing shadows, feathers, and water ripples from bare metal. Galeazzi didn't just engrave, he orchestrated light. His work reminds me of a Renaissance etcher lost in time, only his masterpieces fit in the palm of your hand. And with his passing in 2012, there will be no more. every piece signed Galeazzi is now a final, unrepeatable chapter in the gun artistry. Let's take a close look at this one.
When was it made?
It's marked BC for 1993 and has a low serial number 116. It's a 12 gauge over and under with a hand detachable trigger plate action, 27 3/4 inch barrels, 2 3/4 inch chambers, and it's set up with 5 brightly concealed chokes. But let's start with the engraving. All of the furniture is covered in the fine acanthus scrolling and foliate motifs, each space thoughtfully composed. The underside of the forearm iron has a cartouche engraved Maestro for the model name. And inside the hinge recess, another inscription, Luciano Bosis. On the forearm face, there's a diamond-shaped gold inlay with the Bosis crown and lion shield. The Anson push-button forearm release is built into the fully engraved wraparound Fabry-style housing, meticulously inlaid into the checkering. And then there are Galeazzi's game scenes.
I looked at those this morning. I couldn't believe the detail. Even the ducks and the geese have eyes.
They do. The right side features a flurry of Canada geese alighting over a marsh. There are 13 geese in the foreground and another 16 etched in the distance. The composition includes a distant tree line, rushes breaking the water, and finely detailed weeds in the foreground. Even under magnification, the nearer geese have visible eyes. In front of the right side plate, Galeazzi added 6 more geese with cattails in the foreground for a total of 35 birds on the right side. We see a banner above these inscribed Luciano Bosis. This is where bulino technique shines. Look at the subtle cross strokes in the cattails. They aren't just lines, they're wind. And if you ever doubted that metal could capture emotion, stare into the eye of that lead goose. It's alert, alive, and almost in mid-honk. The left side mirrors this artistry. 12 mallards landing in a marsh, trees, rushes, and movement in the water. Every part plays into the sense of the action. Galeazzi has captured every position of the ducks, flying in, preparing to land, landing, and many in the water swimming and foraging. In front of the left side plate, the engraver inserted another banner with Luciano Bosis and 2 more ducks swimming calmly. Below the left side plate, the action bar is signed Galeazzi in coin finish. On the underside of the action, we see a spaniel retrieving a teal, and below him, lying motionless on are 4 downed game birds, as if the retriever is adding to his cache. The trio of trees are to the right. On the small trigger guard is a miniature scene, a waterfowler submerged to his waist, aiming his gun skyward at more geese. Even the tiny details of his face and hat are engraved with clarity. Beyond these scenes, Galeazzi's scroll work covers every millimeter of exposed metal. Now let's look at the gun itself.
The maker is Bosis?
Bosis, yes.
Bosis.
Luciano Bosis of Travagliato, Brescia, Italy. I have trouble with all those Italian names. As we covered in episode 26, Bosis is reputed one of the best of the handmade gun makers. They typically offer 3 styles: side-by-side box locks, side-by-side side locks, and a boss style over and under.
Is this one of those 3?
Actually, no. We covered the first one of those in episode 26. But this one is an outlayer, the Maestro. It's a hand detachable trigger plate action, something you don't even find mentioned in the books about Bosis. It's closer to a high-end trigger plate Perazzi. Let me pick it up. First we check to see it's unloaded.
Looks good.
Now disassemble it. Let's look at the barrels. They are the highest quality of chopper lump injector type, made with 9mm ventilated matte top rib, no mid rib, and constructed from the hardened and tempered UM6 steel. Luciano Bosis believes this steel gives better patterns and reduces recoil better than Bowler steel. These barrels are also chromium lined. The left side is inscribed Luciano Bosis Brescia, and the underside shows legal markings of the exporter and importer. The front sight is an ivory bead, or blade, actually. Check out the action. Though this is a trigger plate gun, it features full side plates to serve as a canvas for engraving. The action is built with Boss-style side-mounted trunnions and a Fabry-style locking system. It includes a whole looping top lever, single non-selective trigger, and a safety locked in off position for competition use. To remove the trigger group, you press this small button next to the trigger guard until it's flush. Without fingernails, I have to use a stylus. Let's see if I can get this to operate. Got it. And then it pulls right out. Voila.
Wow, do all trigger plate actions work like that?
Not all. If you compare this to Perazzi's system from episode 16, that one is controlled by the safety button. Let's look at the stock. As with Perazzi and Fabry, Bosis prefers highly figured walnut grade from Turkey. This grade 5 wood is near exhibition, if not exhibition level. It's deep golden amber with black veining. Its features include a pistol grip with a palm swell, an inlaid gold oval, and a tear-shaped grip cap made of ebony, African ebony. Checkering is by hand, very fine at 32 lines per inch, classic point checkering, and it wraps over the wrist. Let's compare it with the forearm. The tedious checkering also wraps around the forearm, except to make way for the forearm furniture. It's fitted with an Anson push-button release. It's built with a large decorative escutcheon, which is inlaid perfectly, and it's a style reminiscent of that made popular by Fabry. When the action is open, the water table shows proof marks inscribed PST, FINTO, and stamped with the Bosis crown and lion. The barrels on the barrel flat have these same proof marks and the Bosis crown and lion, and additionally it has BC for 1993. We just covered the field strip parts. Let's reassemble this gun and continue.
The coin finish really makes the engraving pop.
It does. The receiver, side plates, tangs, and furniture are all coin finished to highlight the engraving, while the barrels have a deep rust blue. The contrast with the exhibition grade wood is visually stunning. As mentioned in episode 26, we pointed out that both books, The Italian Gun and The Best Guns, called Bosis the best of the best.
What's its condition?
It's exceptional. Well, it comes in its original Bosis leather case with a scarlet crushed velvet lining and accessories. The dimensions are 14 3/4 inch length of pull, 1 3/8 drop at comb, and 1 7/8 drop at heel with a 7/8 inch black leather covered recoil pad. It weighs 7 pounds, 8 ounces. So to sum up, this gun is an unusual Bosis model, another best gun built with superb craftsmanship and features once-in-a-lifetime engraving by Galeazzi. It's a museum-worthy shotgun with history, beauty, and rarity. And one thing I've never emphasized enough is how with these handmade Italian guns, oddities do exist. While we know most of their typical offerings, there are makers like Bosis and Abbiatico and Salvinelli and others that have explored rare variations, such as A&S's Wesley Richards Tribute. This maestro here today is a good example of that creative freedom. And thanks to the internet, we now occasionally see these oddities surface. This one was a surprise even to me. That's it for today. Thank you, Heidi, and thank you, viewers, for joining us. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to my channel and share it with your fellow enthusiasts. We'll be back next time with more about Italian handmade guns and the legends behind them.
Ciao, everyone.
If you want to get involved with these types of guns, I recommend gunsinternational.com. The owners are great people. I know them and have been using their website since they started. I find it the best source for both buying and selling any great collectible gun.